Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Ethereum, and we're going to do the same thing we did with Bitcoin, and that is a non-emergency video. Okay, just because we get a dip does not mean we have an emergency. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So with Ethereum, we have our market cycle ROI chart in the same way that we have it for Bitcoin. Now, for Ethereum, this is cycle 1, okay? And it's basically from close to inception all the way up to the peak in early January. And then if you overlay the market cycle ROI for Ethereum for the second cycle, it looks something like this. Now, this is as measured from market cycle bottom, and for Ethereum, as measuring it from December of 2018, you can see that it really didn't do much for a really long period of time because Bitcoin was still not in a bull market. And so later in the video, we'll do another update where we just take it from here as well. Additionally, if you notice, we are already past where we were last cycle in terms of measuring it from the bottom, if you measure it this way. But of course, this is expected because I do expect the cycle to drag on longer for Ethereum. Now, it's not exactly a fair comparison, because remember, Ethereum was launched in 2015, and so it sort of just hit the space and immediately started going up because it was launched at a really opportune time. So let's break this down like we've done in the past to see where we are potentially within the grand scheme of an Ethereum market cycle. So the first thing we can do is say, okay, well, it looks like we have some sub-cycles in here. So this looks like one, and then we'll take this one as another one. And if you do that, you get something that looks like this. Okay, so you have a major bullish move by Ethereum, about a year of doing nothing, and then another major bullish move. And when you overlay them, they look pretty similar, in fact. And then if you overlay the current one, as measured from market cycle bottom in December 2018, this is what it looks like. So not really that impressive, given that it took it a long time to really gear up. And so that's why I say, well, what if we treat the bottom as March of 2020? Now, obviously, there's some dubious stuff going on with shifting it to not the actual bottom. But if we did do something like that, you would get something that looks like this, which looks a lot more in line with what we may expect to see. Basically, the idea of diminished returns. Okay, in each sub-cycle, we are seeing, from say the first two sub-cycles of cycle 1 to at least the first sub-cycle of cycle 2, we are seeing diminished returns, because at this point in cycle 2 we were already up at 200x, and now we're only at 20x. Okay, so a modest 20x. So when you look at this, it does fall more in line with what we may expect. And then if you shift the entire bottom over to see where it currently is, from March of 2020, this is where we are. Okay, yeah, we're going to have dips. If you take a quick look at the last cycle, I mean, look at these major dips. It's like a 70% drop right here. We had a lot of major drops, 60%, 50% by Ethereum. If anything, the people that have gotten into Ethereum this bull market are lucky to some degree, because you're basically just watching the price go up so far with not really many major consequential breaks to the downside. I mean, yeah, there's been a few by a few $100s, but who gets out of bed for a few $100 drop on Ethereum? So when you look at this, it actually is interesting, because if you shift the market cycle ROI to be March of 2020, then at the same point in the last cycle, Ethereum is actually at the same ROI. Okay, I mean, it went up earlier with Ethereum last cycle and then came back down. And we said we expect there to be less volatility by Ethereum this cycle, for it to be a more slower and methodical move up rather than a crazy move. Crazy moves that look like this, okay? Because I don't think with the current market capitalization we can see a sustained move by Ethereum that goes up at this angle of attack, okay? This one has been the one we've been on, and it's just been relatively slow and steady climb, okay? So one thing to consider, just to kind of, to give some perspective to where we are, for those that are worried about the recent pullback. If you look at the price of Ethereum on January 1st of 2021, it was $739. February 1st, $1317. March 1st, $1416. April 1st, 1915, April 18th, 2246. Okay, so looks good to me. There's going to be some volatility in there. It's not a bad thing. Take a step back, look at the entire cycle, recognize that compared to last cycle, it still seems like there's a decent way to go. I will contend I do not think we will put in a market cycle ROI nearly what Ethereum did last cycle. This is a logarithmic scale, so you're looking at over 3,000x here. So I don't really see a 3,000x playing out. We're currently just over 20x or so, but going up to 100x potentially from market cycle bottom, like $80. I think that's theoretically in the cards. We'll have to wait and see exactly what transpires for the duration of the market cycle. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go for 320,000 subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Remember, we have the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com. We have the first Into the Cryptoverse NFT coming very soon, and so if you want to receive that, make sure you sign up to the premium list, which also includes access to a lot of premium content, weekly reports and videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the risk dashboard, the Into the Cryptoverse app, and more. So make sure you guys check that out. And we also have the merchandise. We're selling merch now. We have a few t-shirts and a coffee mug on the website. You guys can check that out. You can find a link to that in the description below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon to turn on your notifications. And I will see you next time. Bye.